Cypress Financial Group presents the Retirement Roundtable Podcast with John Scallan. Get more at cypressfinancial.net. Now, let's get to the show.
My name is Mark Owens and John Scallan.
Made in America.
Celebrating our independence this weekend. How you doing, John? Things going well for you?
Oh, just living the dream. I just heard you say that we can now text.
Yes, sir.
To this 504-732-1001. Another way to reach out to us and try to connect.
Yeah, trying to make it as easy as possible for adults looking for a little clarity when it comes to their financial future.
How about independence?
There we go. That's what you do every single day, you and the team at Cypress Financial. Is that fair to say?
You know, that's exactly how I think about it, Mark. I mean, for most folks, retirement is their own personal Independence Day. You know, I kind of look at it, it's the time, that the paycheck stops being the boss of your life and of you and of your time, and you finally get to live on your own terms. So that's really what we want to get into today. What does real financial independence look like for you, and how you actually know you've got it, or maybe just hoping for it, Mark?
I think it's fair to say,
USA! USA! USA!
So with that being said, John, this weekend, financial independence. It's a phrase that everybody uses, but nobody really defines. So, John, when you're sitting across from an adult and the phrase financial independence comes up, in your mind, what exactly does that mean?
Well, Mark, I think most people think it's a number, right? There's this figure in their head, when I get to this much money, right? A magic figure, and the day you hit it, bang, you're free. But, that's not really it from my perspective. Real independence to me, Mark, it's about control. Look, you cannot control the market. You can't control inflation or what happens with taxes or all these headlines that scare everyone half to death. Knowing the stuff that matters, most of it isn't at the mercy of stuff you can't control.
John, I like how you said that. You're talking about control. So it's less about being rich, because that's the American dream right there. But it's less about being rich and more about being in control of the things that matter.
Again, my friend, spot on. That is the entire thing, the whole enchilada. And let me tell you about a couple we sat down with not long ago, because, they show you exactly what this looks like. And Mark, I'm going to be honest, when they came in, they were a mess. Not them as people, but their finances. Listen, they had a 401k from one job over here, some inherited stock sitting in an account, over there that they hadn't touched in years, an old IRA, some money in the bank, and not one clue what it all added up to or whether any of it was even enough.
So, John, in a situation like this, it's not that you're just helping us get organized or we're just looking at accounts. It's all about having a strategy.
Yeah, Mark, a real strategy. A personal strategy. Think about 3 couples go to a movie. One couple just sleeps through the whole movie. One couple's on the edge of their seat and one couple is staring at the ceiling. These strategies are personal. They are designed for your life, your dreams, your risk tolerance. And Mark, that's the thing that changed everything for them. They walked in with a drawer full of disconnected accounts, and they walked out with a coordinated plan that they actually understood and had meaning for them. Everything finally pointing the same direction, working together, built around the life they told us that they wanted, not just for random accounts and hope. It was an actual plan.
You said was one of the One of the key words we talk about every weekend here on the Retirement Roundtable, always talking about a plan. Let me give that number real quick, 504-732-1001. And as John is explaining this situation, maybe you feel like you're in the same boat, trying to help you find that financial independence where you just feel like you have accounts, but do you have a plan? These are moments where that chaos becomes a plan that we can see and follow.
Mark, and you just watch the stress almost melt off of this couple. I mean, right there at the table. And not because they had gotten richer. Mark, they had the exact same amount of money that they walked in with. Mark, I would call it hope. I mean, for the first time, they understood what they had. They could see how it all fit together. They knew it was built around what they actually wanted. That clarity, that moment, that to me, Mark Owens, is independence. That's the freedom that we talk about actually realizing every single week right here on this show.
So for somebody this weekend, they're thinking about my next step. After the celebrations are over, after we clean up the fireworks, how can you help us get our own version in order if we have that mess? How do you help us put a strategy together?
Listen, I really want to be clear here, and I just want to suggest to you, bring this to us. Bring it to our office. Let's sit down and let's have a conversation. That's exactly what we do. We take that scattered paperwork, we organize it, we make it make sense and turn it into one clear plan built around the life that you and your spouse want. You don't need more money to feel free. More often than not, it's just needing somebody to put the picture together so that you can finally clearly see us. Please call us or text 504-732-1001. These initial meetings are always complimentary, no pressure. You're going to walk into an environment with people that really care about you, your journey, and just think you might even walk out a whole lot lighter than when you walk through our doors.
Now it sounds like you got a gym membership over there as well. Come on in, maybe help you shed some of that excess in your portfolio. Listen, it's a holiday weekend. I'm thinking about
barbecue.
Hot dogs, man. Yeah. I'm not thinking about any kind of weight management this weekend. But speaking of weight, now is not the time to wait. If it's on your mind, reach out to the team at Cypress Financial. 504-732-1001. There is maybe a question that a lot of people could be quietly asking themselves. How do we actually know the difference between being truly ready to retire or maybe just hoping it works out?
Mark, isn't that the question? That's it. I mean, and honestly, it might be the most important question we deal with. I mean, here's the tricky part. Hoping feels exactly like being ready, right up until the moment it doesn't. The market's been good. The balance looks healthy. So people feel ready, but feeling ready and being ready, feeling ready and knowing in your gut that you're ready. These are two very, very different things. And the gap between these two, it usually doesn't show up until a bad year in the market drags the numbers really out into the open.
Yeah, but you said there, John, you said feeling ready and being ready. How can you really help us tell the difference between them?
Mark, we look at three things. I mean, first, can you actually turn what you have saved into a paycheck that is not dependent upon the stock market? Listen, having a big pile of money and knowing how it becomes steady income for 3 decades, we're talking 30 years in retirement, those are two totally different skills. Let's talk about number 2. Is your entire retirement riding on one thing? Because a plan with only one leg under it, Mark, it falls over every single time. You want more than one source carrying the weight. And Mark, here's number 3. Does it hold up over a long life? Living to 95 should really be a blessing, not a budget problem, Mark.
And John, I'm guessing most people can't answer those immediately off the top of their head?
Mark, most have never been asked these questions. And let's just talk hypothetically about a gentleman, and we're going to lay this out. Perfect example. This is a confident guy, really successful, retired about a year ago. He did the whole thing himself. He felt great about it. And he came in really just wanting, a pat on the back, maybe a cursory second look. He figured would tell him that he had nailed it.
I feel like there's a but coming, John. But
there is a but, my friend.
However,
but when we actually, potentially got under the hood, his entire retirement was riding on one thing: his stock portfolio. That was the whole plan. Every dollar he lived on came straight out of it. And because the market had been good that first year, it looked like this plan was working beautifully. Mark, he had no idea he was standing on one leg.
Can you define the danger in a situation like this?
Mark, we would have to walk him through it. I mean, if we hit a rough patch in the market early in your retirement, let's say year 1, 2, 3, what's happening is you are pulling your living expenses out of an account that's dropping at the same time. You're selling low just to pay your bills. And Mark, that kind of damage early on, it's called the sequence of return risk. Many times you don't often recover from that. He wasn't ready. He was hoping. He just couldn't see it because nothing had gone wrong yet. I mean, Mark, you can't blame him. We've been in one of the longest, strongest bull markets in the history of the stock market. So listen, it's easy to understand how he could get, let me call it, seduced by the success we've had in the market.
So in a situation like this, what could you do?
Well, first, we actually built a plan, Mark, a multifaceted plan. So, Mark, now a down market is just a bad headline for this person. It's not a crisis. The life he built isn't standing on one leg anymore. And that right there is the difference between hoping and actually being ready for 3 decades in retirement.
All right, John, and we'll talk to that adult out there. Somebody's retired, maybe getting close to retirement, and they're really not sure where they are. I like that one leg analogy right there, but they just don't know if they're only standing on one leg. What do they do?
Mark, pick up the phone. I mean, it is truly the most valuable conversation we have. Don't wait for this inevitable, significant pullback in the market to tell you where you are, because that answer comes too late. Let's stress test it. Let's pressure test the portfolio now while everything's still on the table. You can call or text 504-732-1001. Initial meetings are complimentary, and it's better to know right now.
And John, as we continue to celebrate our Independence Day this weekend, want to go a little Black Hat country with you with the great Clint Black.
This killing time is killing me.
Listen, John, if we didn't have good information to get to, I would just let this play for the next 10 minutes or so.
You're definitely starting to convert me to a country boy. I don't think I'll ever be at your level, but I got to tell you, this is 4th of July music if I've ever heard it.
Barbecue music right here, a little Black Hat. Listen, once we get on that boat, maybe pop a couple of cold ones, it's going to be nothing but King George, Brooks and Dunn, Alan Jackson, and Clint Black. I just hope you are prepared. John Scallan's going to get here before you know.
Well said.
Well, on this Independence Day weekend, we had the opportunity to sit down with Clint Black. He's got a new book out. It's called Killing Time. And he talked about and got very reflective about patriotism and sacrifice.
Sacrifice. People sacrificed for it. Our founding fathers, they knew. They understood the issue at hand, and they understood the consequences of going against the King of England. So it's not a perfect union. It's not a perfect country. country. One of the things I notice is that people who root against their country or are not rooting for their country will root for a team of ball players before they'll root for their country. And I want to encourage all of you out there to think about that. If your home team is more important to you than your country, you might want to rethink it.
You hear country icon. Yeah, John, I mean, what's your takeaway from a thought like that?
Well, first of all, the hair on the back of my neck stood up. I mean, what a patriot. I mean, he's spot on. Our country is not perfect, but gosh almighty, it'll be a great day when we can all come together and sit down and have a conversation. There's something there. I think it's just human nature. When you've always had something like this great country, you start to take it for granted. You see it with, I don't want to wide brush the younger generations, but people who are younger than I am. And freedom, sure. But honestly, we all do it in all kinds of ways. You may forget what it costs somebody, to hand it to you. And it got me thinking. People do the exact same thing with their financial future. They just take it for granted that it's going to work out, that someday will take care of itself. And Mark, I've seen this up close and personal until that one day comes, they look up and realize nobody was ever tending to that issue, standing guard at the portfolio.
There was a word he said there. He talked about sacrifice, the idea of giving something up for something better down the road. I mean, to kind of turn that into what you do, John, that's also kind of the heart of retirement planning.
Mark, it really is. I mean, think about the 401k plans that millions upon millions of people have sacrificed and saved and put off the remodel, put off the trip. I mean, think about the founders of this country that sacrificed everything for freedom, most of them knowing they'd never even live to enjoy it. So planning for a future they couldn't see. I mean, for the generations coming after them, just the big picture. And on a much smaller, more personal scale, that's exactly what retirement planning asks of people. Smart choices today can make a future that you can't quite see, but a compelling future nevertheless.
Yeah. But you can't see the future. We say it all the time here on the Retirement Roundtable, all powered by Cypress Financial, cypressfinancial.net. You don't have that crystal ball. You can't see the future. So how do you help us understand what to sacrifice or how much they can actually enjoy right now as they prepare for retirement?
Mark, you just put your finger on the single biggest struggle that people have. I mean, here's the truth. You shouldn't have to guess. And that's actually where one of the most important things we do comes in. I mean, everybody who comes through our office, everybody, we run their full picture through what we call our retirement analyzer. And this isn't some, back of napkin thing. This pulls in everything. Every income source, your contributions, your Social Security, any pensions, rental income, investment, taxes, inheritance, every single piece, all of it. And Mark, it shows you exactly where you stand today and where you're going to be in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the road.
Aha. So I said you don't have that crystal ball, but you're giving the opportunity to see the future that they're planning for.
Very well said. I mean, that is exactly it. We take the guesswork right out of the picture. We sit down and hand you that plan, your real numbers on your third visit with us. And every one of these meetings, Mark, as you know, it's complimentary. And let me tell you why it matters so much. Let's hypothetically say we had a couple, stuck on the exact question you just asked. They had saved well, but they were really concerned about running out of money someday. They were so concerned they weren't even letting themselves enjoy their early retirement right now. No trips, no spending. They were just sitting on it, Mark, almost white-knuckled and extremely worried. So we ran them through the analyzer, and we just showed them right there in front of them on hard copy, on the screen. Here is where you are now. Here's where you're going to be at 75, 85, at 90 years old, even spending more than you're spending today. And they could actually see it. They were going to be just fine. Mark, for the first time, they had permission. They gave themselves permission. It didn't come from me. It came from their hard work to actually live. Again, not because I told them to relax, because they could see it. Their hard work, their assets in their own eyes.
How do you have that conversation? How do you help people out understanding the perfect balance for their portfolio, for their financial future?
Come on in. Let's sit down and let us collaborate to show you your numbers. Give us the opportunity to run your particular situation, your picture through the retirement analyzer and show you where you're headed. 5, 10, 20 years out. 504-732-1001. You can also find us at cypressfinancial.net. These first meetings are on us. Happy 4th of July, and we look forward to seeing you personally.
Insurance products are offered through the insurance business Cypress Financial Group. Cypress Financial Group is also an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. IPW does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by Cypress Financial Group are not subject to investment advisor requirements. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any reference to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This radio show is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual situation. Cypress Financial Group is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during the show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by Cypress Financial Group. This radio show is a paid placement.
Please remember that converting an employer plan account to a Roth IRA is a taxable event. Increased taxable income from the Roth IRA conversion may have several consequences. Be sure to consult with a qualified tax advisor before making any decisions regarding your IRA. Please note it is not possible to invest directly into the S&P 500 index. This measure is provided solely as a gauge of overall market performance. Standard & Poor's, S&P, and S&P 500 are registered trademarks of Standard & Poor's Financial Services, LLC, S&P. The historical performance of the S&P 500 is not intended as an indication of its future performance and is not guaranteed.